Hello and welcome to Theatre.Reviews with Paul Seven. I'm here at the Garrick Theatre to see Unicorn. Unicorn is about a middle-aged couple, played by Nicola Walker and Stephen Mangan no less, who are attracted to the idea of introducing a third person into their relationship, in the form of a younger woman, played by Erin Doherty. This makes it difficult to review, not because of some of the language, although that's a problem too, but because so much of the play is about whether they will or won't go ahead with it, and how a throuple will work out. Keep watching and I'll do my best to talk about this adventurous and at times very rude comedy without giving away any spoilers. But I better say now that you may find the subject matter shocking, even more so because it involves such highly esteemed actors. Before we continue, may I ask you to please like, comment and subscribe to this channel. Well, here are some things I can tell you about Unicorn. It's a good laugh, although the jokes do give way a little to something deeper in the second half. I can tell you it's about relationships, both physical and emotional, rather than a simple threesome. If indeed a threesome is ever simple. And even if it is about more than sex, there is nevertheless much frank and indeed filthy talk about sex. Having said that, if you're hoping to see these beloved stars in the buff, or perhaps were dreading the embarrassment of seeing bits of their bodies that are normally covered up, there are no depictions of sex. They don't even undress. Well, Nicola Walker does take her shoes off. Frankly, it's shocking enough to hear her and Stephen Mangan talking about sex in explicit four-letter words. Yes, even that word, without them actually doing it. So, they're a middle-aged couple, bored with their sex life. They still say they love one another, but they wonder if a third person might spice things up a bit. Fortunately, Polly, played by Nicola Walker at her most nervous and sensual, is a lecturer, and one of her mature but younger than her students has hots for her, and she feels the same. Normally, if that's the right word in this unusual situation, it's difficult to find a young woman who wants a relationship with an older couple. And I'm not saying this from personal experience, it's what we're told in the play. As rare as a unicorn, in fact. But fortunately, Kate, the Erin Doherty character, is interested. And so the story begins. The very word unicorn may suggest a fantasy, but we go with it because this is a scintillating script by Mike Bartlett, and these three actors, under James Macdonald's direction, know exactly what to do with it. Their comic timing is exquisite. Erin Doherty nails the younger woman, frank, matter-of-fact, and with a clear picture of what she wants. She talks loud and without hesitation. Stephen Mangan as Nick is especially good as a man tying himself in knots as he tries to contain what he fears is stereotypical masculinity. He and Nicola Walker capture that respectful tone of the woke London middle class who are aware they shouldn't offend or take risks, so beat about the bush and constantly retreat from what they really want. It's entirely possible that on some level this is inappropriate, says Polly to Kate. So we journey through the first half, continuing a will they, won't they situation. Now, I think I can add this, which might be a spoiler, but I doubt you imagine this prevarication, amusing as it is, could possibly continue for over 2 hours. In the second half, they do get together, but only after some significant turning points in all their lives. We find that Kate is increasingly the driving force in the potential three-way relationship, and we realise why. As we move into the dynamics of the ménage à trois and its ups and downs, the humour does subside a little in favour of more philosophical conversations. And to summarise them, we live in dangerous times when the world and our bodies are threatened by pollution. We're brought up on Disney princesses and a bicycle made for two and so on. So heteronormative coupling is synonymous with this failed society. Therefore, a willingness to try new, honest ways of living and loving could be the path to happiness and a better world. It's clear from the start that this particular arrangement is so rare that it is close to a fairy tale. A fairy tale that actually features a unicorn. But, you know, children's fairy tales are, after all, designed to help them tackle the challenges offered by a world that can seem dark and forbidding. Now, I don't want to say whether the characters are ultimately happy or whether this particular relationship works out or whether they choose other options. But I certainly came out of the theatre feeling upbeat. Miriam Buether's set is half of a dome, the other half being in effect the fourth wall. It occasionally concertinas up at the back to allow an entrance. The impression is that the three are contained within a cocoon, thus adding to the feeling that they are in a fantasy world. The backdrop is bathed in different colours, and sometimes Natasha Chivers' lighting design casts multiple shadows. I'm not sure if that's to indicate the many possibilities of modern relationships, or more mundanely, to make the image of 2 or 3 people on stage more visually stimulating. There are a few props, chairs or a sofa to sit on, a bed to lie on. Look, I certainly wouldn't go see Unicorn if you're hoping for an erotic evening. But if you take it as a fantasy delve into changing attitudes to relationships, then it's both interesting and funny. If nothing else, it'll get you talking, and who knows what that might lead to. I give Unicorn 4 stars. I hope you found this review interesting, or at least useful, and if you did, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel, then you'll be the first to know about my future reviews. You can read my reviews and my roundups of other critics' reviews on Theatre.Reviews. And you can also catch me on the usual social media. Thank you for watching.